on this shit. You know what I'm saying? It says we are live and direct. So let's see how this shit goes, big dog. We're supposed to be on YouTube live right now. Welcome everybody. If this is your first time coming through, welcome here to the Under Gun Line podcast, also known as Word on the Streets, also known as Vet Bro Reactions. Today I'm joined by my homeboy Lee Hunt, who looks like the Valerian from motherfucking House of the Dragons.
Not the bastard Valerian, the real
No,
blood.
that motherfucker bald. But nah, the reason that I'm glad that you joined me on this today is because those that follow you on TikTok at King Virgo 82, and those of us that know you, I've known Lee Hunt shit since back in 2005 when we served in the army together.
Worth 20 years.
20 motherfucking years, dog. Can you believe that shit?
19.
Well, everybody that knows old Hunt over here knows that my boy is a
Liberal.
a little bit past far left when it comes to his politics. And what trips me out is the fact that, dog, immediately after this whole thing that happened with Trump yesterday, this incident that occurred, you were one of the first to call out the bullshit as far as like all these further left cats stating how they missed or, like shit, they didn't finish the job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that shows a lot of righteousness in yourself. I think that whether I know that you're not the greatest, the biggest Trump supporter per se,
For real.
but and y'all forgive my boy over here because he still knocked the hell out sleep.
No, I'm
But
up, baby. I'm wide awake.
but yeah, man. What do you think of all these dudes out there, man?
I think it's like I said, man. I feel about them the same way I felt about Democrats when Democrats were not Democrats. I'm sorry, when Republicans they were laughing at the fact that Paul Pelosi got attacked. I feel the same way. I'm like, dude, y'all dudes are making fun of this 80-year-old dude because he got attacked. And I got it. Paul Pelosi's not an elected official, but he is the husband of former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Like even if Trump's wife would have got attacked, I would have the same outrage. I'd be like, come on, man, this is the former first lady, man. Give her some fucking respect.
Okay, so see, I'm already gonna go counter on you right now. We weren't laughing that he was attacked. We were laughing about how it occurred because that motherfucker was being attacked by his ex-lover while he was in underwear. So I mean, there was a little bit more to it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, all that is conspiracy nonsense, and I'm all about it because listen, I'm all about conspiracies. I can call them out too for what they are. I believe that this thing was a setup.
Why would it be a setup? By whom? Hold on. Set up by who, first of all?
I believe it was set up by the Trump administration. I honestly do.
How? Bro, listen, that my boy was already leading in the polls, right?
He was not leading. If anything, he was leading by within the margin of error. And if we talk about leading in the poll, yes, he was leading within the margin of errors. And we all know that even last time he went up against Joe before the election, he was leading in the margin of error. He was leading within the margin of errors. And vice versa. We know that Clinton was destroying him. And look who won. The polls are not what they used to be anymore. They're just
I want to hear your conspiracy on this. I'm a disagree with you respectfully on this.
Oh yeah.
But I gotta hear why you believe that this is a setup and why. Before you even set this up, I just got a couple of questions that I would like you to answer regarding this being a setup. Was Trump involved if it was a setup?
I believe he was.
Okay, so I don't care how good a motherfucking marksman a person is. There is no way in hell I'm gonna have somebody shoot at my dome, all right, with live rounds at me. All right, I don't care how much I want to win the presidency, boy.
No. That's the thing, though, man. Like we can say, listen, I can say that, like, because here's the deal. I can miss on purpose. Like if I'm just the world's greatest sniper, I can miss you completely on purpose, and you know what's going on, and all of a sudden if you slow it down, right? Even when he got hit, he was like, wow, he went here. He was like, there was nothing. You could look at that thing and you've seen there was nothing whatsoever, right? Do I believe, once again, that this was done to make sure that he, locks down the presidency? I think so. I think a lot of people are going to sympathize and behind this. We can look at what happened with Reagan in 1981 He had just won the election. This was March of '81 when Reagan assassination happened, right? We all know that the president swears in the office in January 20th, right? So we're talking about 3 months, close to like, well, 2 months, close to like 2 months after the dude finally took office. You know what I'm saying? We seen what happened. I do think, and I would hope that Trump has a Reagan epiphany, right? Because what Reagan had after he got shot, he was like, man, listen, this makes me want peace. After Reagan got shot, that's when Reagan had this
But that
determination.
would be counter to what you're saying, that this was something that he had planned.
I think it was planned. No, I think it was planned. And I think that hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he just go ahead and has this epiphany. You
So
see, the
you're thinking that
problem,
he had an epiphany after he planned to get busted at.
I don't, well, as of now, Trump hasn't had an epiphany. That's the thing, though, right? Now, what I would hope would happen is people on the right say all the time, the left's rhetoric, the left's rhetoric, the left's rhetoric. I just talked about this when I was live. It's like, oh, it's like you guys have tunnel vision. Y'all don't see the rhetoric that you talk about. Like I can see it because like I try to stay, even though I know that I'm voting one way and I lean one way, I'm
Mm-hmm.
still up for understanding when people say the left, this, that, and the third, and when they say, listen how this person talked. And I can say, yeah, that what this person was saying is kind of fucking crazy. You know, it's not passing the smell test. But the people on the right have tunnel vision. They seem to think of what Trump is saying. There's nothing wrong with it. And it's like, that's the problem. You guys are not willing to entertain anybody when they say, hey, listen, this is wrong. This is why we feel this is wrong. Y'all won't even entertain when people say, hey, can you kind of listen to us when we say we don't like this real quick? We don't like the fact that you talk about retribution. We
But
don't
see,
like the
hold up,
fact
hold
that
up.
you talk about.
I'm not to interject a bit here. Um, there are many of things that I don't agree with Trump. There's a lot of rhetoric I don't agree with. However, I still believe that he is the proper candidate, or the right candidate that we have right now in order to get us going back on the right track. With Biden, he's a puppet. That fool is weakened at Bernie's. Being realistic, that fool is weakened at Bernie's. He's not running a goddamn thing. He can't even run his own goddamn diapers right. Somebody's changing that shit for him. But what I'm thinking is, I mean, we're all being painted with a broad brush. You know what I'm saying? That would be like me saying that you agree with everything that the left says, which I'm sure you don't. You know what I mean?
No, man, I'm
You
all about, according to Trump, I'm all about aborting babies after they've been born. Like, that is one of the smartest things that I've ever heard any fucking person say, that you can abort a baby after it's born.
I don't do all the research on that. I
Yeah,
just go
that's the
by
thing,
my
though. I
opinions.
do. This motherfucker has
Okay.
said this
All
on
right. So
TV.
if we're gonna go there, I'm like Biden. I'm gonna go shake hands with dead people. I'm gonna go give shout outs to motherfuckers that died
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to
So
go call my vice president Trump.
yeah, exactly. So, but going back to what occurred, I don't think it was a setup. If it was set up, it was by a third party. Because if I looked at the cat that I saw the picture of the dude that got murked out, and now I do have
My bad.
questions. I do have a lot of questions. Like, first of all, even if the shit was outside of the venue, why was that person allowed to climb up that rooftop? Why was that rooftop clear? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, that's the thing, though. Like, when we talk about this to these diehard Trump supporters, they won't believe it. Look at what happened. A lot of diehard Trump supporters, they believe, some of them, in some of the things that were said about 9/11. When you look at interviews,
Hold up, pump the
no,
brakes
no,
here.
no. This is what I'm saying. This is how I'm tying this all together. When you look at interviews from firsthand, when 9/11 happened, and you look at the
Hmm.
interviews and people are saying, no, man, there's explosions going on in the building. We hear them right now.
Hmm.
These are first, and this is before the towers even collapsed. This is what people were hearing right then and there. Why do you think
Right.
lawyers will tell you when something happens, do not talk to the cops? Like, don't do anything, because once something firstly happens, that's when you're going to know things and you're going to be more willing to incriminate yourself once that
Well,
first action happens.
okay, now circle back that shit like Jen Psaki, and how does that tie into Trump?
I guess with the whole conspiracy thing, because like you said, there were people that were there from the get go. They were interviewed and they were like, man, we seen this. We were pointing out to the cops and the Secret Service that this guy's on the roof with a gun and they did nothing. Like,
Mm.
it was on the BBC. Pause. Like, fucking dude was like, no, man. He was like, yo, we seen the guy crawling on top of the building We kept yelling. We pointed it out to the cops, and they did nothing. And this dude
Yeah.
was like, "Yo, I'm a diehard Trump supporter, but this is what happened."
So again, I don't see how this would be something that seems to be have planned by Trump. If anything, would be planned by a third party that would have influence. Is would be what my opinion. Now, there's going to be a gang of conspiracy theories. There's going to be fools coming in from the left hand and fools coming in from the right. You know, they're both going to have their conspiracy theories. Like I'm sure there's a lot of us or a lot of folks. What's up, Roland? I appreciate you, man.
So
Yeah, this shit is bananas.
let me ask you this, because you were
Bananas.
here. You were here for this. You were here for this thing, right? So this is why I'm gonna tell you. This is another reason why I think it's bullshit, right? Remember when we had to wake up early as fuck in the morning and march from 4ID side to First Cab
Yep.
side?
To go
Do,
see President Bush.
do you not remember all them connexes that were stacked up high as fuck, covering the blind spots?
I don't, because honestly, I was still new to the unit. I had just gotten to the unit. I didn't even have a flash on my beret yet, bro. That's how new
Yeah.
I was.
But yeah,
So
so
I
there
was
were connexes. If you next time you talk to people and they in from the unit and and you ask them about it, be like, hey, were there connexes stacked up tall as fuck when Bush was there? And they'd be like, yeah. So you mean to tell me, right? Even though I got it, former president, current president at that time, that they
yeah.
took the caution to make sure, hey, listen, man, we can see there's these potential avenues of approach. And this was on a military installation, for
I
God's
was
sake.
about to say that. You know, we were on Fort Hood when that happened over on
Yeah.
First Cap side.
And they still took the precautions, even on a military installation, to make sure
Well,
this guy was protected.
devil's advocate, like you said earlier, he was the current president, the current POTUS. And we were in a state of war at the time, too. Now, I'm just saying, look, first of all, I want to say this. Um, I'm not justifying, neither are you, justifying what happened to Trump. You know,
Most
I
definitely.
think honestly that it is a shame that there's motherfuckers out there that are like, you know, damn, they missed, you know, oh, they didn't finish the job. Those folks right there, there's something seriously wrong with them. Now joking here in there, I
Yeah,
love the memes. The
yeah,
memes are fucking off the chain.
yeah. I'll joke and shit about some meme shit.
You know,
I don't think I would
and
have.
you know, yeah, maybe internally within friends, we'll be like, damn, man, you know, that motherfucker must have been, you know, we'll say some dumb shit off the wall, but nothing that is gonna be
Grossly
uh
offensive. That's
not only that though, but also we do it within ourselves versus out there in social media. Because at the end of the day, there was some innocent folk that lost their goddamn lives.
yeah. There was a
You
dude who
know,
lost his life and two people were in critical condition. Like, listen, man. I think that Melania had something to do with it.
I
I'm
saw you
saying,
say something about that on the
yeah.
Books of Faces and on the
Tell
TikTok. Tell me about that. Tell me why Melania might have had something to do with this, bro. Oh, by
Melania.
the way, I'm sure that this is not going to get any traction whatsoever because we
No,
are
man.
talking
Like I've
some
seen you.
whack shit. But let's do this.
Bro, like I see like one of your videos, and like I said, man, you probably don't know it because it don't tell you exactly. I don't think it tells you exactly who watches your shit.
Nah.
But no, so I see your videos, I watch them, and like one of them had like 57 views. So like the traction is getting there.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Melania did it. I think Melania is tired of his shit. Like we haven't seen Melania nowhere near this motherfucker. Like where
Maybe
the
because
fuck
she
is
doesn't want
Melania?
to be fucking brought up again. I mean, you saw how much they were trashing her. Dude, we've dealt with this. We've dealt with having to hear about Trump for the past 8 years, and he hasn't even been in fucking office for 4 of those years. Now we're going to hear it for another 4 years because he's going to be elected,
Yeah, he's
whether
gonna get
people want to
elected.
admit it or not. It's going to happen
Yeah.
because I
Oh,
mean, Biden is being too proud to even.
pass the fucking torch. I just once again I talked about this shit on my live. And motherfuckers got mad because I brought up fucking what's that old bat's name? 83 years
Bernie.
old from your district.
Oh, you're not talking about my boy Ron Paul.
Maxine Waters.
Oh God! Oh, you talking about that dumb crazy ass broad?
So I was like, yo, like, because I said there's no reason why that the 70 and 80 year olds should be running the country and making laws that's going to benefit, that's going to hurt or affect myself, my children, and their children. I was like, they're 70 plus, they're 80 plus years old. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, their way of thinking is antiquated. No matter how much they try to say it's not, their way of thinking is antiquated. They grew up in a certain era, and I got that. We're not in that era no more. We need people that are going to represent people that are bringing that were close to being brought up in the era that we're in right now, that understand it more than these people. And this woman was like, "You're being ageist," and on top of that, that's the. I was like, "Yep, stop right there." Just because she's a black woman, she's not above me saying that. Hey, listen, You should have been passing the torch. You don't need to die in fucking office. And I said, if you don't believe me, the Democrats fucked up in 2016. We, the Democrats, did not put the person that everybody wanted to run, right? And who they should have been grooming and paying attention to run against Trump. We don't know what happened, right?
Who would it have been?
We don't know what would have happened.
No, who were
Bernie.
y'all should have.
Bernie is who they wanted. Come on now, you know
Yeah.
that a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people
Bernie
said,
is who everybody on the left wanted.
but they gave us the Democratic Party was like, fuck this shit. We're gonna ram Clinton down your fucking throat. We're gonna do this. Clinton, name recognition. And I was like, the same shit happened in 2021. The Democratic Party failed us again. And what are they saying? Like they did in 2020. Black people, you have to bail us out. You have to bail us out. Why do black people and the black vote have to keep bailing y'all out when you guys are not even doing anything? Maxine Waters is not doing shit to bring anybody else up. Instead,
And
she wants to
she
stay in
hasn't done
fucking
shit.
office.
Like you said, for those that don't know, Maxine Waters, I'm from South Central LA, originally born and raised. Maxine Waters is the representative of my in my area. And she did nothing. Look, I was born in 77. I didn't move out of South Central till 2020, no, 2001. In February 2001. So nothing changed with all those years. The only thing that did change was the demographics, because it used to be about 80-20, maybe 70-30, blacks versus Mexicans. And then that shit flipped the script and we were about 50-50.
Nah,
So
that
I
shit
stopped
is
getting
like
my ass whooped
98
so much as a
shit.
kid. Was that?
That shit is like 98-2 right now. People come
And,
across that goddamn border.
hey, why you talking shit about my peoples, dog?
Listen,
Hey,
you know I love your people. I love
hell,
them.
I know you do. I know you do.
But they
You
on
love them.
kryptonite.
White girls are my kryptonite, baby. But no, I mean, what's crazy though is the fact that nothing changed in all those years at all. Nothing. Like she made a education center, like that's about it out there in Watts. But other than that, nothing changed, bro. And
And
I'll
that's the
tell
thing.
you, people that like you keep saying, I think there needs to be first of all term limits as far as like how many times. If we have them on presidents, why don't we have them on representatives or senators? Secondly, there needs to be age fucking
Yes,
consideration, because if they want to go on ageism, then why the fuck are we not allowing anyone below the age of 34 to run for president? If we
exactly.
have a cap at the beginning of how old they can be, there needs to be one at the end. For me, it should be 60. That way they're out of the office by 68. If they can't be older than 60 years old or 62 years old when they run for office, because that way they're out by the time they say we're supposed to be retiring,
Retire. Yeah.
you know?
That and like it doesn't like you don't have to be a good statesman. You don't have to be a senior citizen to be a good statesman.
Mm-mm.
You don't. That's a fucking myth. Uh I know how people feel about the dude, but he was young. Barack Obama was a young president, right? George
Mm-hmm.
Bush, in my opinion, was a young president. The fact of the matter is this: the presidency weighs heavily on people. We can look
Mm-hmm.
at what that does to people from the time in 8 years, bro. 8 years, people will swear me down that I don't look any different. They'll be like, "Dude, you still look like a fucking kid. You still look kind of like how you did
Mm-hmm.
back when I knew you, damn near 20 fucking years ago, right?"
Right.
People will tell me that shit. So you mean to tell me within 8 years, with all of the stress that comes with being the president of the United States, like, come on, man, that can't be good on your heart. It can't be. Like, there's
Well, not
nothing
only
wrong with
that,
sitting down. Pass the
not,
torch.
not only that, I mean, you look at if you want to see how much this job stresses you out. Not that I'm not an Obama fan or anything whatsoever, but go look at Obama when he first took office,
Yeah, yeah,
and
no,
then look at him 8 years later after he got out.
man.
There's a reason that Michelle's like, I ain't doing that shit. You know what? Speaking about that, why are people trying to get Michelle up there?
Man, this is the thing though. I hate the fact that like I think that Michelle would completely mop the floor with Trump, and I
But
think it's
we all know it will
transparent.
be because that they're pandering. That's all they're doing is
Yeah,
pandering.
I do think so. Like I think that if she was going to do that, she needs more experience. I don't think that, and this is the thing though, and keep in mind, I said I think if she's going to do that, she needs more experience as far as being a statesman or stateswoman. And I
Right.
felt the same way when it came to Trump. Trump had zero experience being a statesman,
But he
but he
had all the
still
experience being a CEO.
that does not equate to being a statesman.
Well, here's the thing, though, Hunt. I think, at least in my opinion,
And the
uh,
CEO, man, his company's damn near everything he touched went bankrupt. He failed at damn near everything he did. Trump
Right.
Hotel failed. Trump Vodka failed. Trump Steaks failed. Trump Airline failed. Trump Magazine failed.
How many? But look at this. Here's the thing, though. I mean, is it really a fail or is it a learning experience?
You can call it a fail. You can call it a learning experience. So if it was a
You know,
learning experience, why didn't he open? Why didn't he take the lessons learned and he did not open up another casino? Why didn't he open up more vodka? Because
oh,
it was
because he learned his lesson. Like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do that
because
shit
he
like that.
got what he needed. He got the money out of that, and he was
Mm.
able to capitalize. Like there's so many horror stories of this dude not even paying contractors what they were supposed to get paid.
They're stories, like you said, they're third party stories. I mean, so hold on. Let me ask you, let's rewind and circle back. What have you heard so far about the whole incident that happened yesterday? Because one thing I want to tap on is during the interview that they were doing on Biden, and they asked him point blank, like, "Hey, was this an assassination attempt on Trump?" And he said, I have my thoughts, but I don't know." I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah, I know. Well, I can understand why. Once again, this was right when things came out, so I'm
Bro,
not making an excuse. But was it an assassination attempt? A lot of people. I'm gonna pull Trump. A lot of people say it was, but at the same time, I personally think it was a setup. Now, even though I think it was a setup, I can acknowledge that this was an assassination attempt on a former president and soon to be the official uh, candidate for the Republican Party. I can say that there was an attempt on that guy's life, whether it be a setup or whether it be just because somebody had malice in their heart. I can
it
acknowledge
was
there was an attempt on his life.
yes, it was an assassination attempt. It was. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you what saved fucking Trump. I'll be at least in my point of view. All right, my point of view. Trump is lucky that he's very animated, where he's fucking moving his head so much left and right. Because if you tend to look at the fucking at the pic at the video, that motherfucker just happened to move his head just as soon as the just right before the crack happened. He just happened to move his head, and that's when he's like, "Oh shit!" And like he felt that shit on his head, and then he looked and he just fucking dropped. I mean, that motherfucker knew the assignment. He knew to
So
drop.
once again, you see the video I sent you, right? Like, so I thought I sent y'all a video where and it's all over the internet now. It was from another person's point of view. They were down in the audience, and they
Uh,
were looking at Trump at an angle to where you can see, and behind him, the two
mhm,
Secret Service counter snipers in
mhm.
a
Oh
higher
yeah, I saw
ground.
that one.
Yeah. So once again, you're looking in that same direction. Now you couple that with the fact that as soon as this incident happened, you had witnesses say they were trying to get the people's attention, notifying the police that were around there. Hey, this is going
Mhm.
on. Let somebody know. Let somebody know this is going
Right.
on. So now you're talking about a failure that happened. When you hear the interview, when someone said we were trying to get police to take care of this and they wouldn't, failure between the police that were around the area on the outside of the perimeter, not
Mhm.
coordinating with the Secret Service, who were on a higher rise looking right in that fucking direction.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I say it doesn't
Well,
make
I
sense.
can't say that they were looking at a direction because I don't know what the Secret Service was looking at. You got your fools up there with the rifles. I did see that. But we all know, man, what you see through that scope, you're looking at one area through another area, you're scanning sectors, right? Now, I do agree with you, though, that, oh shit, Shannon Doherty died. Ain't that some
Yeah.
crazy shit? I just saw that right now. Sorry, it just popped up. But not that that matters because so did fucking Shelley Duvall and motherfucking Richard Simmons. But, anyways, um, but no, what I'm tripping out on, and but see, everything you're saying though right now, Hunt, is kind of contradicting what you're saying as far as it being a setup by Trump on himself. You see what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
So, my boy, you're talking about that. You believe that Trump set this up on himself. First of all, I'm gonna tell you one more time. I will not let anybody take a shot at me ever. I don't give a fuck. You know. I don't see Trump doing that to himself either. I think he likes breathing a little bit too much. I know that he likes fame. I know that he likes all that, but and
Thing
the
to think
fact,
about.
bro,
Like the first,
look,
like, damn, I hate to cut you off. Like
no, you
another
good.
reason, man. Like I am not about to make sure that I take that. No, stop. Y'all have to let the world see me pump my fist in defiance and say, fight, fight, man. Get me the fuck out of here. I just got shot at. Get me the fuck out of here. I don't
That
got time to worry
motherfucker
about
G,
some
dog.
fight. Nah, fuck that shit. Hey, listen, Secret Service, do what y'all supposed to fucking do like y'all did. Y'all covered me, y'all protected me,
Mhm.
whisked me the fuck away. Do you think Reagan, even though he was unconscious at the time, would have been up there
Yeah.
talking about
Well,
some
Reagan was
fight,
kind of like,
fight?
Reagan was kind of down, you know. Hey, Trump he still has a personality of a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And but whether you like to hear it or not, that fucking picture of him fucking with his fist up, pissed off as fuck. That look of being pissed off after being shot, I've only seen that once or twice. And that's from motherfuckers after we got hit or we got fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because that motherfucker was mad. I mean, let's be real. I mean, I know you don't want to admit it, dog. I know you don't want to say that it was an assassination attempt by
I said it was.
hold on,
I said
by
that it
a
was.
rival. You think it's something that was planned out by him. So I mean, I'll play your game. I'll play your game. Let's say he did set it up for himself.
Well, backtrack. Did you
Why?
say a political rival?
Mm-hmm.
If it was okay according to the Supreme Court because it was an official act. If it was by a political rival, you see how that doesn't make sense? Because what did the Supreme Court just do? If something they deem that a president can act in an official capacity, and as long as
Mm-hmm.
it's in a official capacity, the
Mm-hmm.
president should have immunity. So we can't say
Okay.
it was a political appointee because if it was a political appointee, vis-a-vis by the Supreme Court, it was an official act.
Depending if the person was the president. If the president did that, according to your Rachel Maddow logic over here,
Hypothetical theory. I don't fuck with MSNBC.
well, that's what you sounding like right now. You are sounding super MSNBC.
I do not
So,
like MSNBC. I do
dog,
not watch MSNBC.
that is exactly the rhetoric you're saying, though.
It's common sense. No, no, but seriously, fuck Rachel Maddow. I can't
Get the
stand her.
fuck out of here.
No, but you said a rival. So who would do that? Who other than Trump? Who other than Biden is Trump's rival?
Let's see. There's a lot of folks that I'm sure have been offended by Trump, and
Offended
there's a
and
lot of
rival are
folks.
not the same thing.
Okay,
He's only running against one person, one viable person. Fuck the third party idea and fuck those idiots that I'm
okay.
different.
Well,
I want to
maybe
run
let
third
me
party.
rephrase then. Political ideology. Somebody that doesn't agree with Trump's political ideologies.
Now that I
You know
can,
what?
that
It
I
might not
agree.
even be it could be somebody within his own party if you want to go there that wants to take him out.
I've heard rumors that it was a conservative that did it.
See, that's the thing. We've heard rumors. So, oh, by the
I've
way,
heard
just for
rumors
everybody,
and
so everybody knows these are all uninformed opinions that we have. You know what I'm saying? Nobody is saying that these are facts in any way whatsoever. We just throw a lot of shit into the wall, see what sticks.
yeah, like
But
spaghetti. You're trying to see if it's different.
hey, you know what? I thought I was the only one that did that shit, dog.
No, take with string, throw that bitch against the wall.
Yes, and if it sticks to the wall, it's good to go. It's good to eat, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. But no, back to it though. The fact though is the outrage that we're not having towards the shit that occurred. I mean, look, when Reagan got shot, I was still young. I was only like maybe 8 years old, 5 years old. He got shot at what, 80?
81.
Oh, 81. Shit, I was 4 years old. So yeah, there ain't shit I remember about that time.
Yeah, I
However,
wasn't even
comma,
born.
I will say that I don't think that there was this manner of speaking of like, how the fuck did they miss him or like they should have took him out. And then when Kennedy got shot, everybody rallied around together as a country, came as one. And I'm not comparing Trump to Kennedy by any way, shape, or form. But
No,
what I'm saying
I know.
is, we came together as a country to condemn this. And people seem to want to keep glorifying it like, oh, they missed.
Didn't Oswald take a shot with an M1 Grand?
It wasn't an
What did
M1. He used a Russian bolt action rifle, though.
Okay, so this motherfucker hit a moving target
If you care to
in the
believe
head,
that.
in the head twice. Well, in the neck and then in the head, a moving fucking target. But you mean to tell me
If you want to believe that theory, yeah.
But you mean to tell me somebody stationary got off a shot before the fucking Secret Service did it and only grazed the motherfucker? Okay.
I'm saying that I saw the Zapruder film many a times. And you know what? I saw the motherfucking movie
The
JFK.
driver.
I saw the JFK movie, and it's back and to the left. Back into
Yeah.
the left.
I've seen the driver do some crazy shit. I've seen
Yeah,
that driver
I've
turn
seen
around.
that. I've seen the videos as well. You know, with all the conspiracy that there was a Secret Service agent that did it. There was the driver that did it. That's why Jackie was trying to run out of the out of the vehicle because she saw him. Then there's the whole magic bullet theory, which is the government's official stance. You know, that's the crazy part. That one bullet went in, came out of another, in of his body, out of his body, into the fucking person in front of him,
Yeah.
made a U-turn, came back up.
Abba
So
Kababa.
for real, that's a
Harry Potter
motherfucking
shit.
that's that wizard shit, man. That what's that motherfucking kid's name?
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's that Harry Potter bullet shit right
Abba
there, bro.
Kababa.
But you know, it still trips me out that this automatic. I mean, I'm not gonna say it automatically will win the race for him. I mean, he already had it in the bag. Honestly, being serious, he already had it in the bag. I know. Look, your far left side will not allow you and your pride. Let's be real. It's your pride that's not gonna let you say it.
I
But
think
even
people still.
you have recently started to notice how much bullshit the left is.
I think that it's not so much real. I can just call shit out for like it is, man. And if
But it's
I
been
can,
like that for a while.
it really had. Well, this is what's
No,
been.
you haven't realized it until
Yeah.
recently, but we have realized it for a while.
Well, then that's the thing, though. If we can realize that the left, then you have to tell me that things that are agendas. Now we can say
Here we
what we
go,
want to
Project
say.
2025. I knew it was coming
Man,
sooner
we
or
can talk
later.
about Agenda 47. There is so much stuff too that is just bullshit that we can say, guys, come on now. Like this is the narrative that you guys really want to try to push for what? And we wouldn't even know about Project 2025 unless it got leaked. It would have been a
Bro,
secret.
how long have you known about Project 2025?
So here's the deal. Honestly and
No,
truly,
no, no.
Project
Just a quick question.
2025.
How long have you known about it?
I've known about it for about 18 months. Now, I've known
And you
about that for
barely started talking about it now?
known about it for 18 months. Now ask me when was Project 2025 originally trying to take effect?
I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you something. You
1970.
let me
See,
tell
the
you when I heard about Project 2025. I heard about it about 8 months ago from my daughter. My daughter, I had no idea what the hell that was. And to this date, I still don't even care about it. Because like I told her, honey, there's this thing called checks and balances. Things can't just happen how motherfuckers want it to. Bro, that's like the same thing as saying that when Bernie comes in, that the country will become a fucking communist state.
a social state. No, see, that's the thing though. There are checks and balances. I do
Mm-hmm.
100% agree that's how we are ran. But with Project 2025, it's essentially a sleeper government that they're going to put in place. So those checks and balances mean nothing. Because when you have it to where a person will have to take an oath to the president of the United States instead of taking an oath to the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the check to make sure these people get in office or get these jobs. Now, what
Mm-hmm.
happens? These people are bound by their oath to do the president's bidding instead of being bound by the oath to serve the Constitution.
And let me ask you, Hunt, do you think something like that would really be able to happen?
Yes, because
How?
look at what the DNC, look at what the RNC is doing right now, right? And this isn't about the RNC is not too much involved with the Project 2025 as far as putting in people into like these bureaucratic roles. The RNC is asking people questions. Do you think that the 2020 election was stolen? How do you feel about Trump with this? You are making these people pledge allegiance to Trump unrightfully so when they still had choices. It is
Let me tell
crazy.
you something, Hunt. That would never happen. That will never happen. That would never happen. This is the exact same type of fear mongering that we get from from the fucking military industrial complex. This is the same type of rhetoric and the same type of fear mongering we get to try to justify us going into Ukraine, to try to justify us going into Israel, to try to justify us fucking hating on, involving ourselves in shit that we have nothing to do with. That's the fear mongering. They want to get us in that state of fear. Same thing, like you want to go to conspiracies, just go back to 9/11. Who had the most to gain after 9/11 happened? The
The
fucking
Jews.
government. The government. Damn, there goes my channel. Damn.
Oh yeah, my bad. Yo, damn. Stop asking me questions if you don't want me to tell you the
No, and
truth. I'm telling you.
I appreciate your honesty. You know,
My
and
bad,
we could
yo.
have just said the
My bad.
Kowalski's. We could have said the Kowalski's.
Yeah, my bad, man. My
But
bad. I'm
no, you
sorry.
good, baby. You good. Cause hey, just like I got your channel taken down off of TikTok that one time. But nah, bro. The government had the most to fucking gain out of it. If you want to go to conspiracy theories, the government had the most to gain out of it. What they end up doing, the Patriot Act, espionage on our own people. Look at the NDAA where they were able to fucking go ahead and arrest US citizens without any warrants, just pick you up on a fucking suspicion of being a terrorist and not give you due process. So the
So if
government
they,
is the one.
so you can acknowledge that the government had every right to benefit from that, but you will
Right.
not acknowledge the fact that Trump and the conservative movement has every
See,
intention to
because
benefit.
you're dividing it into left and right. I'm saying the whole government as a whole. All right.
But they're
You're trying
trying
to
to
divide it like
replace the
it's only
government.
the right that wants to do this. Bro, the way it
You
sounds
can't.
like
We
oh,
cannot get rid of people that have tenure. And let's say somebody has tenure at the FBI, at the CIA, at the
mhm.
NSA. We cannot just fire. The president cannot fire those people that have these tenures. Now, the directors of those said branches, yeah, they're going to be replaced when the new incoming president come in because those are political appointees. That is a political
Mhm.
post. The director of this, the head of this, that is directed by the president. So they can leave. They don't have tenure. But you have people that have been working in these places for years, decades. And what it's saying is you have to say that you pledge allegiance to the president. And you not doing that is grounds for you being fired.
Okay. And that is something that is not justifiable. You cannot do that. I mean, again, this is
It's
all
not,
fear
but it's
mongering to
what's the
me.
plan.
And now I don't think it's not the plan, or if for those far righties that want to proceed with Project 2025. And I'll be honest, I don't know enough about it to even fucking. But I've just dismissed it because to me, again, it sounds like weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. That's what it
It
sounds like
has
to me.
everything to do with veterans too. You got to read the part where it comes at the
Again,
veterans that pay.
I dismissed it because it sounds like fear mongering, like what got us into fucking Iraq, weapons of mass destructions. There were
Fear
none.
mongering is always just talking about, oh, the border, the border, the border, the border is
Oh,
not
and
secure.
what you're saying right
The
now.
border's wide
First of
open.
all, okay, is it not? Are you gonna
It's
fucking sit there and tell
not
me that?
wide open. If it was wide open, we wouldn't even have border security at the borders. So it's not wide open. And then
Okay,
on top of
we're
that,
talking
when
about
you
we're
say
okay.
that, you know
So
what?
is it being a bit of an exaggeration? Yes, but is it wide open compared to how it was when Trump was in office?
It was still open. There was still a crisis with people coming up.
They were coming up, but they
And
weren't
I'm not
coming
even
in.
saying a crisis. There were still immigrants coming to this country. If you want to say illegally, it was still happening. We could
It
see
was,
that
but
with the detention camps that were
not
happening.
at the rate that they are now. Not at the rate that they are now. Hunt, let's be real, dog. Come on now, let's be real. Again, I know your pride won't allow you to do it because you are too much of a, of a lefty tree hugger. But no,
A
at the end of
bleeding
the day,
heart lefty.
uh, I know, man. But no, I mean, okay, I'll give you what's fear mongering, right? They're coming after your weapons. They're coming after your weapons. That's fear mongering, right? You always say, "Oh, they're exaggerating that shit." They can't do that shit. No, like okay, we always say they can't do that shit, right? They can't. It's not like they can
Why
just snap
can't
their
they?
finger. It's not like they can just snap their finger. Why? Because you have to make an amendment. How much of the
Exactly.
gov how much of the Congress and the Senate needs to be fucking involved in order to make a radical change to the Constitution like that?
So you need 66 senators to
Mhm,
vote for a new amendment.
mhm.
So 66 senators have to do that. But like you said, therein lies the problem and the duality, if you will, of the situation. Yes, it is kind of crazy, right? Because you need those the House of Representatives to do the bill, the 66 senators to pass it, right? That's what you need as far as gun legislation. You
Mhm.
don't need that kind of legislation when this is what the president's going to say. Because remember, when we say, "Hey, I'm gonna sign an executive order," the president cannot sign an executive order when it comes to things that are in the amendments. He can't
Mhm.
sign an executive order when it comes to the any kind of weapons. He can't do that. He can sign an executive order when it comes to the hiring and firing process of federal workers.
Again, Hunt. Again, let's rewind. You're taking it out of the realm that I'm keeping it in. Can 2A be taken apart? Can it be Can it be taken off the Constitution?
I told you it can't because we need.
Okay, so the same thing with this Project 2025 thing. All right, does it sound like an crazy ass outline of how they wish things were run? Yes, kind of like the way the Marxists have, the socialists have their little agendas of how they want their government to run. Yeah, is it going to happen? Absolutely not, because the founding fathers thankfully had the right idea. Oh, see, there you go, hating that word. I don't know why,
Because
but
everything they did was flawed. Like I
because
challenge.
at the end of the day, they're fucking human, dog.
Yeah, and what they
There's
did was
gonna
they
be
left everything. Like this is why it was flawed because everything that we have been taught is a fucking lie. Two, they were
Oh,
so
here we go.
vague on purpose with everything, and I'm not talking about the whole.
I'm listening.
No, no, somebody has sent me a message.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go get myself a soda real quick.
No, no, I just read that. So, like
All
I
right.
said,
Hold on.
everything
Let me
they
give
said
it.
was
Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna go get my soda. Hold up.
yeah.
I gotta go get a
So,
drink.
yeah, the thing with the founding fathers is, and we can look at this shit right now within the debate of every fucking thing that constantly goes on. Their wording with the Constitution was so vague and left to interpretations. That's why everybody was talking about there's a comma when we talk about the Second Amendment. Well, they didn't say what exactly were the guaranteed protections and the measurements to do this. They didn't specify what exactly would constitute as a high crime and misdemeanor. They said, hey, if he's guilty of a high crime and misdemeanor. They did not specifically say this is what's going to be a high crime and misdemeanor. We both know through our time in the military, when we have to put out any kind of fucking directive, we are extremely, for a reason, break that shit down Barney style so everybody at the lowest level will understand it and there's no room for interpretation in what we have to fucking do and what is said and what is done. The founding fathers
Well,
didn't do that. And I
well, I
challenge
think.
everybody, one last thing, I challenge everybody to go get the book
All right.
Madison's Hand and they read the fucking book Madison's Hand.
Let me ask you, Hunt. You're proud pro 2A, right?
Yeah, and I'm a fucking liberal.
So, would you turn your weapons in if they told you to?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Exactly. Thank you.
I
That's
don't
all I
even,
wanted
matter
to
of fact,
say.
I don't even
That's
have
all I
weapons.
wanted to say.
What? Who has weapons? I don't have weapons. Who
Weapons?
said I have
What?
weapons?
What? Oil? Cooking, bitch?
Oil. Yeah, but you cooking? Who said I
Oh man,
have weapons?
gentlemen, for those that are hearing who are watching this, live, all three of y'all, appreciate y'all. Hey, tap in on the comments, man. Talk to us, all
Yeah,
four
tap
of
in,
y'all.
tap in.
Tap in on the comments. Hit us up. Let's talk. Let's chat. This is a place where I always say the gun line is a place where we talk. Madison's Hand. Got it. Got it. Got it.
Yep. I'm not just talking about it. Go get the book and read it. It's an account of everything that
Well,
was going
again,
on.
you know what I'm surprised of that I haven't seen yet that the left has not. Well, I just woke up too, so I don't know. But I'm surprised that the left hasn't taken the opportunity to demonize the Second Amendment right now. Saying,
Me
and this
too.
is why we need to have more gun control.
But what's crazy is they did it when Gabby Giffords got, when she got what happened to her. The left was like, and this was a Democrat. They were like, this is why we need gun control. They
Right.
even did it when Steve Scalise got shot at the
Right.
baseball practice. They were like,
Mhm.
yo, we don't agree with Steve Scalise. He's a Republican, but Jesus Christ, y'all just tried to unalive this Republican. Like something needs to happen. They're coming after members of Congress. What are we going to do about this? So it is crazy that no one is doing this. Like, come on, man. They tried to do this to the former president of the United States. What are we going to do? What is it going to take? The fact that they did this, that there was an attempt on the former president's life, and no one is talking about gun legislation, gun reform, is fucking crazy. That lets us
All
know
right,
that
my brother.
Motherfuckers are crazy.
You've done this about 3 times. I don't know if you've been drinking. It's legislation. Legislation. You sounding like this fucking rapper that said ethnicity.
What did I say?
Legislation or something like that.
I
You're
said
throwing the R in there.
Texas, man. Y'all know what the fuck I mean.
You know what? Y'all brothers are always like that, man. I don't know why. Oh man, but yeah, I'm really surprised that there hasn't been any type of rhetoric so far of this is why we need, more restriction. And you know what's the trip is there were people saying like when the pops went off and everything, that they heard a total of like 8 shots or 9 shots. But to the trained ear, you can hear there was 3 pop, 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 and then you hear the pop, 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 pop. So to the trained ear, you hear 2 different distinct types of weapons being used, which the first one was the fool popping off at Trump, and the second weapons were the ones taking out the shooter.
Yeah, the second
You know,
volley was definitely them taking out the shooter.
and to those that were saying, like, there were others saying that they sounded like a paintball gun or a fucking, excuse me, pellet gun. I'm gonna tell y'all, you guys are the same ones that probably thought that it was just bump stocks in Vegas.
Yeah,
Because to me that was a 249 Bravo. And I don't care how much they try to say it wasn't. I know what a 249 sounds like in action.
I don't care, a bump stock, or even if you had your finger in your belt loop and you were just doing it like that, it's not gonna let off that many fucking rounds like that.
Bro, I don't care if that bitch was you know how fast you would have to. Bro, there's no, and then the sound was a 7.62. That was not a 5.56. We're talking about Vegas, y'all. And
well, 7.62 would be the 240 instead of 249.
Oh, that's why I'm a firm believer it was a 240 Bravo.
Yeah,
that's a 249.
Yeah, you said 249.
I meant 240 Bravo, y'all.
Yeah,
I know that.
Someone right about Vegas. There's someone right about Vegas either.
Not at all. Especially whoever was using that weapon, he was not very well trained on it. I'll tell you that. I think they gave it to that dude like, here, use this. Because somebody with a 240, they could have done some major fucking damage, dog. And especially at a crowd like that.
Yeah, there should have been a lot more people that were.
Or even if it was let's play their game with a bump stock. I think that the thing to take away from this, though, honestly, is being realistic on this. One of the key things that should be taken away from this is be very selective on who you pick for vice president. And I can't wait to see who Trump selects this week.
Well, I know it's not Byron Donalds, and I know it's not Gummy Tim Scott.
Those, I don't see how
I
people.
I think it's going to be Doug Ducey.
I hope and pray that he picks Tulsi, because Tulsi will bring in more from the independent side, more from the left side. I know you don't like her. I know you don't. But the truth is that I don't agree with all her viewpoints. I don't. She was a fucking Democrat, and I don't agree with all her viewpoints. But that's the thing about politics, man, that people can't seem to grasp this concept.
People can change.
People can change, but you're not going to agree 100% with every single fucking politician. You're not going to get everything you want, and that's the thing that people don't understand. I
don't agree with Joe Biden.
But no, you were anything but Trump. So I mean, you're just you're a person that's going to vote for the left regardless who it is, just to vote against Trump. Bro, just like it was against Hillary.
Coca-Cola for president. That shit that you drinking right now, I will vote for that bitch before I vote for Trump.
Exactly. So you see, and that's a trip, dog. I mean, you're free to vote for whoever you want. You have your ideologies, but myself personally, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and again, the Democrats had a viable option in 2020 with Tulsi Gabbard. They did.
You mean 2016?
Huh? No,
2016?
2020.
2016. That's when, if anything, she should have did it, when she was running.
Not because in 2016 she still wasn't even known yet. She was still just under the radar. She was still what are they called? she was still like a up and comer
Junior.
in the DNC who Clinton was fucking. Did you know that Clinton was fucking grooming Tulsi?
Tulsi.
Yeah, and she fell out of grace when she went against Hillary for what they did to Bernie. That's why she fell out of fucking favor from the Clintons, from Hillary, because she's like, hey, what you guys are doing to Bernie's kind of fucked up. And they were like, okay, you gone, you fucking Russian, you Russian spy. You know what
You
I'm
damn
saying?
Russian spy.
So, and then I mean, she would have been a perfect candidate. I don't know if she would have won versus Trump, but she would have had a better, she would have had a better chance because female, veteran, minority, young. I mean, dog,
This
they're
country does
handing you
not
the
want to have a
fucking
woman.
presidency. Was that?
This country does not want to have a woman as president. Like it doesn't matter. Like the honest to God truth, this country does not want to have a woman as a president. This country is not ready for a woman to be the president. It's not.
Emotional damage.
Yeah. Dead ass.
I never thought I'd hear you say that shit.
No, I'm telling the truth. Even as a liberal, this country does not even want a liberal woman to be president. We don't.
Explain why.
Because there's this idea of masculinity that the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, right? America's this big tough thing, so we need a tough man to run this country, right? It has to be a man. It can't be somebody that's going to be emotional once a month. Well, in Clinton's thing, menopause probably already set in any fucking way, so we ain't to worry about that from her. But these young women, it didn't. It's not. They don't. This country, and I hate to sound like this. This country has too much patriarchal, ways about it. It does not is not a woman to be the president of the United States. We're not ready for that as a country.
Well, what I did appreciate about when Tulsi was running, and this is what's crazy to me right now, that Hunt and I are on opposite ends on this about who should be running the government. But yet, when we talk about females in combat arms, you're all about bring them bitches in there.
Bring them
in. You just want to combat blowjobs. Yeah. That's why.
I'm gonna be like fucking homeboy on Game of Thrones, the big woman here.
Bro, the fact that you just brought that up, I just finished watching this fucking season 8. I was watching. I went through seasons 1 through 8 all over again. And the more I watch it, the more I'm catching the old context clues, the old
shit that was gonna happen.
Yeah. And then not only that, just like certain things that they say that like, oh man, I didn't catch that, like, oh, he was throwing sublims, But I did see the downfall of the writing in season 7, and then the outcome of season 8 was fucking garbage. And this is basically though circling back to our future president. Go ahead, man. And hey, viewers, I know we only got one of y'all in here at this time. Hopefully, we'll get more, as this goes along. But hey, we all got to start somewhere, right? Whether it's 0, 1, 2, or 1,000. I'm glad that you're here, man. I appreciate y'all being. Oh, here he comes trolling. Here he comes trolling.
Who, me? Why would I ever troll? No, my hair's fucked up right now. I need to get my hair.
No, it's all gravy, baby. And I want y'all to know something, y'all. Though Hunt and I are on opposite sides of the fucking aisles, we've never gotten to the point where we disrespect each other. I'm sure that I've said things that will fucking be like, this motherfucker. You know what I mean? And I know he's starting like there's times where I see things that I don't agree with. I'll like it and I'll keep scrolling. You know why? Because I may not agree with it, but I'm gonna support my brother. You know what I'm saying? Even on TikTok, I know he says some shit. I'm like, this motherfucker wild. Like, scroll. Because you know what? I want his algorithm to get hit. Like, yeah, give my boy some support. I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna support my brother. Because you know what? He's been a day oneer with me from when I fucking started this podcast in February of 2020. And shit. He's been my most guest here.
Yeah, frequent guest.
Fucking co-host and everything. So go ahead, Pimpin.
Yeah, I think that people get too much like this because, like I said, man, like if you can't talk to somebody about some shit that you disagree with, then you're really not their friend. You really can't
Yeah.
call yourself their friend. Like, there's things that we like, Lopez, we'll go back to back on. Like, we'll disagree, but it's nothing where I'm gonna call you out your name and I'm gonna insult you or say some shit that is like, man, I probably shouldn't have said that shit. It's like, no, man, this is my
Right.
point. This is where I stand on this shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
No, and
That's how it
even when
is.
you do generalize, I know it's not directed at me. Like
Oh
there's
yeah,
times like, you put shit on Facebook where like, oh, you motherfucking Trump supporters, like y'all
yeah,
all fucking retarded and da da da. And I'm like, I know he's not talking about me. And if he is, I get his point,
yeah.
because
No, I'm talking
look,
about
here's the thing. A lot of us are, do I think that Hunt doesn't love this country? No. Because if he didn't love this country, he'd be living in Thailand right now. Um, but does he love? But here's the thing, Zal, I'm tracking. But the thing is, we don't necessarily love our state of government. You know what I mean? And I think that's the one thing that we could come into that can bring us together is our distrust for the government. All right. Now, look again. Do I agree with everything Trump says? Absolutely not. But do I believe that a lot of people take everything he says out of context all the fucking time? You know, is he a racist? When he was fucking buddying up with Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton and all these fucking big time black celebrities, he wasn't racist then. But now when he decided to throw his hat into the ring, he's racist. You know what I'm saying?
no, that's a false
So
statement.
that's what's that?
That's a false statement.
That's what's a
So
false statement.
so we can see patterns and actions, right? One of them, like, if you just simple anybody that's out there, the listeners, the viewers, if you simply type in Trump's history of racism, it's
Mhm.
going to go back to the 1970s. And I've said this before. If Lopez, say we're in the army, right,
Mhm.
and you're asking for housing on post,
Hey, what's
and
cracking, Zane?
you are a certain rank, and I know because of your rank, you're supposed to be over here, right?
Hmm.
But I'm denying you the housing that you're supposed to get, right?
Hmm.
And come to find out is because of your ethnic background. I
Oh, I thought
denied
you were gonna
you
say
because
ethnicity for a sec.
yeah, I'm denying that because of your ethnic background,
Hmm.
right? And I'm not letting you live here. I'm telling you you're not going to live here. Nope, we have no room. I'm just making up all different type of excuses, and I'm
Okay.
only putting in white people and black people, but I'm not letting somebody with Latin roots come live in
Hmm.
here. Would you think that that was very discriminatory? Because I did this based on race.
That's discrimination. Yeah,
What is it discrimination based on your race?
it's discrimination
Based on what?
on race. Okay, but that
Okay.
doesn't make it racist. But secondly, do you have links for that?
Yeah, like I said, like all you have to do literally is type in Trump's history of racism, and
So
this is
what was
not
the
on some.
reasoning behind? And was it Trump that said I don't want blacks or I don't want Mexicans or I don't want this, or was it what was keeping that person out of there?
It was their background. Like Trump literally got sued by the Justice Department. Him and his dad got sued by the Justice Department
Did
in
they were they found liable
1991.
for it?
Huh? Yes,
Were
they
they
were.
found
They
liable
were
for
found
it?
liable for it
Hmm.
in 1991. Right? There was a
See,
guy.
I'm not versed in this,
Yeah, that's the
so
thing, though. Like I say, I can say that Biden is a racist. Biden has said things on the floor of the Senate that is
mhm.
extremely problematic and racist. But there are people on the right that will only talk about the problematic things that Biden has said. I can say that Biden has said problematic things because I have looked these things up that
Mhm.
people are saying. And
Okay,
not you specifically, but when I'm
yeah.
telling people, hey, listen, Trump has a history of this. I give, like, in 1991, Trump, there was a book written about Trump. And in that book, the author tells about like how Trump said that, he doesn't want black people counting his money because they're lazy. It's not their fault. That's just how they're born. I'd rather have short guys with yarmulkes counting my money. 6 years
Hold
later
up.
on Howard
First of all,
Stern, 6 years later on Howard Stern, Trump was asked about Mr. O'Donnell and what he wrote about him. Trump said, yeah, the stuff he said about me is probably true.
hold up, hold up. I gotta hear it. Hold up. You got that from Guns and Dubs. All right, that's all. One of the somebody commenting on here. So hold on. I'm gonna have to actually check this shit out. I'm gonna start googling what you're talking about right now
Yeah.
because first of all, now let's go back to the 1970s. things were like that back then.
No, because
Just saying.
Biden was saying fucked up shit back then too, and we're not giving him a pass. We're not saying it was like that back then. It was Biden was talking about jungles and having his kids around these people.
Yeah, he was a little more blatant with it. Look, I'm looking up this Trump shit that you're alleging because I haven't seen this. Now I've seen the Biden talking about fucking having his kids going to schools with minorities and calling that shit racial. Well, calling it a jungle, as you said. So tell me, what was it Trump got sued for or what?
1 second, I'm finna do this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. Come on, one more time.
Hey, Zane, what did I get from the Guns and Dubs, dog? Now, I do love me some Guns and Dubs. Shout out to Guns and Dubs, some of my favorite content creators out there.
If you Google Trump's history of racism, right, you will see Vox.com. Right, that's gonna be the very first thing that pops up. And this was from July 25.
First of all, it's coming from a far left leaning motherfucking.
But there's sources that are cited. So I can understand there was not sources that were cited.
I'm looking. Even if you look
at the AP.
So,
right?
Hold on, I'm looking. You said 1991. Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino. Quoted Trump's criticism of black accounts and black guys. Counting my money, I hate it. The only kind of people I want counting my money are short guys that wear yarmulkes. Now, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna say that. I don't agree with him on that, but I kind of trust the little short guys with the yarmulkes to be very financially gifted.
So we can.
Oh yeah, the ethnicity. Yeah, you're right, crew. Yeah, you're right, Zane. I did get it from him. Great. Go ahead, dog.
Yeah. Even if you look at the next one is there, AP, right? It's still going to talk about the AP reports on things that are in Vox that are far left. It reports the same thing, the same dates that happened. We can talk about in the 90s and the late casino, how he was talking about,
Okay, I'm trying to see where you're talking about where he was not allowing people to move into his place.
It should have been the first
one. The Housing Act. You're talking about According to Vox, all right, 1973, the United States Department of Justice under Nixon administration, out of all the administration, sued the Trump Management Corporation violating the Fair Housing Act. Federal officials found evidence that Trump had refused to rent to black tenants and lied to black applicants about whether apartments were available, among other accusations. Trump said the federal government was trying to get him to rent to welfare recipients. In the aftermath, he signed an agreement in 1975 to not discriminate to renters of color without admitting to previous discrimination. All right, so one, let's see. Anybody can cook them books. You don't need a yarmulke. I feel you on that, but the Jews do have. Oh, there goes my channel. But those the little people with the noses, they're much better with money counting. Okay, so
now go to the AP. Go to AP.
I just want to touch on this since you brought this up. Let me go ahead and put it out here, and I'm gonna share my screen so people can see what we're talking about. All right. Hey, by the way, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Zane, for tapping in on here. Hey, let's keep that conversation going, man. Me and my boy Hunt, we're all about engaging folks and talking to y'all. So, and just for those that don't know, that's not a MAGA hat he's wearing, y'all. Just so y'all know that.
It sure ain't. And so while he's bringing that up, I want to bring this to everybody's attention because he just read that off about what happened in 1973. AP reported, and this goes further into that because they actually dove a little bit further into that. In 1973, for example, the Justice Department sued the real estate tycoon and his father for their alleged refusal to rent apartments in predominantly white buildings to black tenants. Testimony shows that the applicants filed by black apartment seekers were marked with the letter C for colored. So this is another news source that is corroborating what this first news source is saying.
Let me play devil's advocate here. All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. Look, man, it was the 70s. Shit was separated back then. It was just the way it was. I'm not saying it was legal to segregate, but shit was separate. People did not want people of color. People were fucking blatantly discriminatory like that, man. It was it was just like that. And I'm not justifying what he did as being right, bro. It's not. You don't want to do that, but if you're gonna lose tenants because you have other people coming in of a different race, At the end of the day, it's a business move. Now, I'm not agreeing with it, saying it's a popular thing to do. I think it's fucked up. I honestly think it's fucked up. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's the right thing. It's not at all. I mean, that is pretty fucked up. But hey, at least he agreed to it and he started letting people of color move in, right?
No,
I hate
he
that
did that
fucking
because he
term,
got
by the way.
sued. And
Yeah.
the only reason why he did that, like I said, when you're marking C for colored on applicants, like, come on, man. Like this is the thing that we're talking about. Like
See,
there is a history of this.
but we're acting very self-righteous here, as if we don't discriminate against other people.
But no,
And I'm not saying based on just color. We all discriminate on who we want to even hire, who we want to associate with, who we want to live with, who we want to be with. We just call it different names.
but here's the deal. If we are going to blame and look at one person in particular and only say that this person is wrong for doing this, then this is what my problem and my whole gripe with people on the right is. Do your research and see the problematic things that Trump has said and be like me. Like, all I'm asking you is be like me and be like, yeah, you know, Biden has had a history of racist comments. He's done a lot of fucked up shit and said a lot of fucked up things. I can acknowledge this. And guess what? I'm still going to vote for this dude because I don't like the other choice. But people on the right refuse to even look up and see the things that they've said, that Trump has said and done, and been like, yo, this was kind of fucked up for Trump to say, for Trump to do, for Trump's mindset to be like that. And if that's the case, I don't want to hear nobody say, well, you know what? This was in the 70s and the 80s. So, you know, which once again goes back to the fact that old people should not be in fucking Congress with their old antiquated ways of fucking thinking.
I agree with you on that one, brother. I agree. And yeah, Zane, I did just say the little people with the big noses, homie, and the funny little hats. They are the best money counters there is.
Yeah.
You know, but look,
So
man,
long, channel.
I see what you're saying. What happened?
I said, so long, channel.
Hey, man, I've never been one to fucking to not voice. That's why I know this channel will never grow or monetize, because I don't know how to not, you know, well, I need to start fucking watching what I say eventually, but I just can't do it right now. But dude, I mean, okay, let's go. Let's rewind. For those that are just joining us here, thanks for coming on here. Me and my boy Hunt having a discussion. Now let's go back to why you think Melania had something to do with shooting Trump.
I personally believe that, well, one, Melania has been tired of Trump. Melania got what she needed. Melania got that anchor baby. She got her parents over here. She got her parents over here, for God's sakes, on a program right before Trump got out. But yet still, Trump is talking about anchor babies. Melania, who's that? The fucking youngest kid of Trump is a fucking anchor baby. Plain and simple. Melania used some back channel shit to get her family in here. She got what she wanted. Melania had been through with Trump for years. She didn't never want to be in the White House. She was too busy getting, you know what I'm saying, her back blown out by whatever Secret Service over there at Trump Towers. And then, you know, I think that she's just like,
so you know what I find hysterical about this? That you over here dogging the shit out of fucking Melania, right? But let somebody say that, oh, Michael Obama was fucking pegging Barack.
I'm not.
We know Barack is a fucking a closeted homo.
No, how do we know that?
Oh, we know. You didn't see that Tucker Carlson with that one homie that showed up?
This is the most reliable person there is in the world when it comes to shit. He's not biased at all.
No, I'm saying that dude that came out to Tucker Carlson saying that, you know, him and Barack were, you know, getting it going.
I'm gonna go on Rachel Maddow and talk about the affair that I had with Trump.
Hey, go ahead, pimp. Yeah, you know what? I'll back you up on that, homie. No, it's just a trip though. Like, you know, when people talk shit about, you know, ugly ass Michael Obama, that, you know
what? I like my first ladies with class. I like my first ladies that didn't even show their boobs and their whole body off for the whole world.
She was a model. It's not like she was doing it.
It don't matter. No,
she was talking about. Of course, it does matter. It matters 100%. It was.
You know what?
It was for work.
All of my dick pics that are on the fucking internet.
You ain't a model, homie.
Run for president.
You ain't a model.
I'm running for president. Fuck that shit.
Go ahead, dog. Hey, I'll be your running mate, Holmes.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna at least run for. I'm gonna move to Austin because it's a very liberal city, and I'm gonna run for the congressman in that district.
He talking more than the Secret Service for real, Holmes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the comments, dog.
No, no, but I'm
Say,
telling you, Melania was smashing one of the Secret Service people.
wouldn't you smash Melania? Don't say you wouldn't,
You know why I would do it?
because it's Trump's wife.
Yeah. Tell that man,
Exactly.
fuck Trump. Hey, you want some of this BBC girl, don't you, with your little flat ass?
Oh man, I'll tell you. Honestly, I don't find her attractive at all.
She's not.
And
Honestly,
but
she's
neither
not.
was Michael. Let's be real. Michelle is ugly. You know she is, dog. My dick could not get hard even if that bitch was naked. It just couldn't. That bitch ugly to me. And it's not because I don't like black women. I just don't like her. Huh?
I didn't say that she's attractive. I just like, hey, it's not my cup of tea. Neither one of them are my cup of tea. I don't think any first lady has been my cup of tea other than Hillary.
Ugh.
Nah, I'm playing.
Ugh. No, you ain't, dog. No,
Brother,
you ain't. I know how much you
ugh.
back up on. Ugh.
Brother, what is that? What is that, brother?
But dog, I mean, can you imagine though? Can you imagine? Pan and pancakes. Can you imagine if let's play your game. Let's play your game here. Trump set up his own attempt. Let's play your game. Why?
To guarantee the sympathy and support from the nation to ensure that he will be the president.
He already had the presidency in the bag, dog.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Now, do I think it would have been another close, tight race? I think it would have been. This is what we're
Even
not.
with Biden, even with Biden still riding.
Yes, and this is why we are failing to realize that there are people, young people, that they grew up under the Trump administration, and during the 2020 election, they were not eligible to vote, but they still had an idea about, listen, this is how I see Trump. This is what's going on. I don't like this. Now we understand that these people are old enough to vote. We didn't account for those people last time, and we're not accounting for the young people right now that see that Roe v. Wade got overturned. They see the way that the Supreme Court is. And what does Trump do? Trump always touts that I put these judges on the bench and this happens. Then he tries to say, well, it's a state thing and blah, blah, blah.
It is a state thing. That's what he's saying. It belongs in the state.
Like,
you know what? If you don't agree with the
matter.
state's policy, there's two things that you can do. One, go out and vote to change the policy. Or two, move to another motherfucking state. Go to California.
No, so it's not fair that somebody has to uproot themselves, right?
But it's not fair. Okay, but it's fair. Okay, go ahead. No,
I know how you feel about that issue. Believe me, I know how you feel about this issue.
It's not okay. Look, here's the thing. My personal belief, for those that don't know, I am pro-life. All right, I am pro-life. I am a person though that does believe in common sense fucking ideologies. Look, I'll play the game of, anybody who gets violated, because I don't want to say those terms because they stop pumping you. But those that get violated and those that get violated by family members, all right, which are still one and the same, either way you put it. You know what I mean? If they end up with a pregnancy due to that, yes, by all means, got it. Another one would be if the child is going to not have the best quality of life per se. They're going to become out, whether no legs, no arms. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was the fastest no I've ever heard when you said move to California.
Yeah, like they can, they're able to tell if there's going to be the life of that child is going to be viable or not.
Right. So here's the thing. I agree in those instances, and of course, also if it's going to affect the health of the mom, right? I get that. That's common fucking sense. But here's the problem that we have with these with the rhetoric that both sides spew. All right. One makes it sound like, as soon as the fucking egg gets fertilized, you can't do it. I don't agree with that. But then the other one, if you ask them, can they go ahead? Hey, that's right, Cruz. Thank you, Zane. I'm sorry I'm calling you Cruz. I'm used to last names because of the whole military thing. But that's right. Let's get this chat cracking, baby. Let's go ahead and share this shit. Let's get this shit growing. But yeah, dog, like you're saying here. Here's my point. When they ask the lefties, do you think it's okay for a woman to terminate up to and before she gives birth. All of them say it's her choice. It's her choice. Why can't they just say no?
No, you
Absolutely
shouldn't.
not.
That's stupid. Like, there's no way
But
that
don't you
lady.
believe that somebody should answer that question?
I believe that some people are, and I do believe this thing. I believe that there are people that say yes. I believe that there are people that believe that, and I believe that their voices are being, overshadowed by other people on the left that are like, no, man. Like, after I don't know what term it is, but like there's some things that are like certain. I think what the second trimester definitely by that, well, however they work, right? I think if you're waiting at the second trimester, no, bro, it's too late for that shit. Like, I got it. People don't know they're pregnant to 6 weeks.
Right.
So if you do from 6 weeks to, well, I say about like after you find out you're pregnant, that's 6 weeks. I think that
Let's
you
say the
have
12 weeks.
I think that no more than either 18 to 21 weeks.
Okay.
I think that, and I don't even know what that falls in, what trimester that falls under.
See, that's already out of the third. So here's my issue, Punt.
It's not out of
And
the third trimester, 21
the
weeks,
4, 8, 12.
16.
It's first after the first trimester. I'm saying after the
Yeah,
first
no, well, see, that's
trimester.
the thing. No, I should know this. I have had 4 kids.
I was gonna say I got 3. So here's my issue, and let me know what y'all feel like, chat. Look, my problem is that I remember when we found out that that my wife was pregnant with Emily. She was 11 weeks pregnant. Linda was, right.
Mhm.
And when people try to tell me, oh, it doesn't feel, oh, it doesn't know anything at that time, I saw the ultrasound when they were doing my wife's ultrasound, right? And I could see Emily's little feet kicking, her little arms flapping, and she was doing somersaults. That's how I knew that she was going to be fucking chaotic as she is now. You know what I'm saying? So at 11 weeks, you can't tell me that that's not a life. You know what I'm saying? Now, I get it. At that time, if you just found out, and unfortunately, you're not in a situation where you want to maintain the child, I understand. All right. But now I'm saying if it's like again, something that was done against your will per se. Now, if it's something that you did with another adult and the results were that you ended up knocked up, that's your fault. And
You
that's
let
the
them
problem that I
hit and
have.
draw.
When people use it as a form of contraception, when people use it as a form of birth control, abortion should not be birth control.
I agree. Just like the song says, you let them hit it raw. You didn't have second thoughts. Now you're a single mom. Now you're a single mom.
Right? Oh man. What does
Yeah.
that say? I don't like it, but to tell anyone what they can and can't do with their body. I agree with you on that, Roland. I don't know. I don't like telling people what they can or can't do with their
Hey, I
body.
see the
But
comments.
here's the issue. The problem that I have is that is another body inside of that person. All right. Whether we want to say it is or isn't, that is another person in that body, you know. All right, what's it say here? Zane. Hey chat, do you think would win in a fight? All hands, no weapons, no security. Prime Trump or Prime Ooh, shit. That's a good question right there. Who do you think is
Prime
gonna
Trump
win in a
or
fucking fight?
Prime
Hmm?
Biden?
You think
Prime
Biden will
Trump.
whoop Trump's ass?
Prime Trump, yes.
Nah. Oh,
Trump is
you
like,
think
I just don't like, I know people see him. People see him as being blusterful, his talk, his rhetoric, this, that, and the third. But I can't take any man serious that should have went to the war, but got a doctor's excuse. I see you as a coward. You're not that tough to me. You let bone spurs keep you out, but you want to fight somebody? Come on, Captain Bone Spurs.
you know what?
Like,
I'll,
no.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I think that Biden may. I mean, he did fuck around with corn pop. The homeboy Zane said Brandon Jamal, single mom, check it out. It's a solid song.
Yeah, also, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about too.
Yo, I'm digging this fucking live thing, man. We get to interact with people. Zane says Trump all day, and Gary said definitely Trump. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go against the grain on this one. I think that Biden, I think it will be a draw. I think both of them would just sell a lot of wolf tickets,
Yeah,
but nobody would punch.
for real. I think they both would just be bumping their soup coolers.
Yeah, they would. They would just be bumping their gums.
Like this. You hit me. No, you hit me.
Yeah.
No, you hit me.
Hey, they'd be walking in a circle,
Yeah.
pushing each like you take the first lick. You
Yeah.
take the first lick.
That's exactly how it would be with both of them motherfuckers.
They'd be praying that one of their homeboys come and separate them.
Yeah.
Yo,
You lucky
dog.
you got me, man. You lucky you holding me back.
Yo, hey, let's talk Putin real quick. Let's talk Putin. Let's talk fucking since we got a crew
Putin
here
or
coming.
Kamala?
You want to go with Kamala first?
No, because like he said, his vice president was, or I mean, Putin or Zelensky. Like, which one is it?
Yo, let's talk about that real quick. You know, we all, well, you know what? I think we're done beating up on on Biden because honestly, that motherfucker, he beats himself up. You know, I think that he needs to bow out. I mean, look, the conservative in me wants him to stay in because he'd be an easy race to win. The human in me wants him to bow out. You know what I'm saying?
It's elderly abuse. That's another reason why I like hate the fact that the Democratic Party are doing this. It's like you guys are guilty of elderly abuse. If this was a nursing home, somebody would be getting fired right now.
This Roland said Trump would pay Biden to take the fall.
Like the Democratic Party is wrong for this shit. And you know what? Fuck it. But yeah, Putin. I understand why people say. I understand that people like don't understand the whole Putin's end game. Yes, we have the Russian Confederation right now. Putin doesn't want a Russian Confederation. Putin wants the USSR again. All right. That's what he wants.
But here's the thing, and I agree kind of a bit with what you're saying. And Cruz, I don't think he's gonna come out to colors anymore. That motherfucker's gonna be coming out to many men. Yeah. I think honestly, okay, what do you see as an end game or a way for Russia to get out of fucking Ukraine? How do you think Ukraine's gonna stop?
I think Ukraine is going to stop when Trump is elected. And I say that because Trump is going to cut aid and they're not going to be. Putin wants a certain amount. He already has Crimea. We got it. He annexed Crimea.
Since when? So people know.
Under Obama. Once again, I can say this stuff. I can tell the
truth. I'm just saying since when, because I don't want people to thinking that this just happened.
No, he did it under the Obama administration.
Okay.
And here's the deal too. What else did Putin do under another president's administration? He attacked Georgia under Bush's administration when Bush was leaving. So we see that he does this stuff, right?
Under Democrats. So, but
no. Bush was a Republican. He did this under Bush's administration. He attacked Georgia under Bush's administration.
Did he take Georgia though?
It was still an attack. He didn't annex it, but he still attacked it.
But did he take it?
They fought back. They were able to push them back.
So here's my question. At the end of the day, we all know that Russia is going to annex a portion of it. It's going to happen. That's the only way this is going to end. The only way this is going to end is with all parties not getting what they want. All right. Now, unfortunately, it happened because we had a weak president in office when this occurred. That's the unfortunate thing. And did you know that they already had a fucking treaty that was going to get signed? But then Britain was like, nah, don't fall for that shit. Or I don't know if it was Britain or somebody jumped in and said, nah, don't do that shit. Don't sign that shit.
Are you talking about when the war was starting?
Yeah, when it had just started and they were going to fucking write a treaty up and then just call it a day. But no, they fucking said, tear that shit up. So Zelensky decided to back out of it. And next thing you know, we're here, 3 years later? It's an embarrassment, bro. And I don't like the fact that we keep spending our money out there or spending our money on them or even Israel because we need to start fixing our own. How can we fix anybody else's house when we can't fix our own?
Yeah, our shit's off. Hey, I do have to tell you this. We may have to cut this short in about 15 minutes. It has been great. This hour, damn near hour and a half, flew by fast as shit.
Yeah, so, how about just give me 7 more minutes and we'll do an hour and a half. Is that cool?
Yeah. Man, listen, on Sundays is probably gonna be the best time for me, man. If you're cool with us doing something like this, I can definitely do this on Sundays.
Let's do this.
Yeah, so we can definitely do this again on Sundays, man. But yeah, I think there's a new. Do you watch? There's another. I don't want to say this because
say it, baby. I don't give a fuck.
No, because like I don't know how YouTube is gonna do this in the algorithm if I say this other person's platform.
I don't care.
So the SRS. Do you watch SRS?
I don't even know what that is.
The Sean Ryan show.
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. I know who he is,
Yeah. So he just had this woman on there that she writes books about nuclear war, and she has access to
bro.
bro, like I forgot her name. There, yep, that's her.
This
That's
book is fucking outstanding. All
is
right.
that is, that's her new one that she just put out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the
Yep.
one it goes minute by minute by minute
Yes.
about a nuclear war. If
Yes.
y'all have this book, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go get it. Nuclear War by Annie Jacobson. She will fucking put in perspective what we're facing at this time. All right.
Yes.
What we're facing at this time.
What's crazy, and I know it's kind of going over this, but the fact, and this goes with Putin. Putin doesn't care because Russia still has the dead hen, and I've known about the dead hen for years. It wasn't just because of what she talked about in the book. I've known about the dead hen for years. Like that is scary to think that he could do this. That could launch from Russia at any time, and that at any time, the like it goes back to the rhetoric. When you keep talking about this rhetoric of, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'll do
Mhm.
it. At some point, you're gonna be like, bro, this motherfucker's gonna release a tactical nuclear weapon with a low grade yield.
But again, I'm gonna say this, and not to cut you off, but hold on. The homie put, if I'm not mistaken, Crimea
Was a
was the
start
start of the Ukraine invasion. I remember
I remember
reading all
Crimea
over the
being all
news.
over the news at the start of the war, but please correct me if I'm wrong. So Crimea was already invaded, and Crimea got invaded under the Obama administration. So they had already annexed Crimea then. What they were doing too is just like kind of like staging things there in Crimea. Ukraine tried to really take Crimea back after it was a full blown, knowing that everybody was going to be going to war. So that's what I think it may have been, Zane. You know what I'm saying? I think we may be on the same. I think we're on the same page, different paragraph.
Right, right. So,
The analogy.
so here's the thing, though. I think that the only way that this war is going to end, and it's not going to happen under Biden's watch because Biden will not concede, according to him, any land, and he will not concede that Ukraine cannot be part of NATO. It can't be. And honestly, I think NATO is just a waste of money on the U.S. side. 100%, it is. And I will say this one more time: we don't need. Russia has a whole other fucking side of that continent they have to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Europe, the whole rest of Europe, Western Europe. So, I mean, it's not like they can't all get together and help out fucking Ukraine. Why does the U.S. have to step in? You know what I'm saying? That's not our business.
Cause America, fuck
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
coming again to say the motherfucking day, yeah.
Fuck
Burger
yeah.
King, yeah.
Dog. Hey man, it's been really a pleasure having you on here. Thank you all for those that tapped in today. I appreciate you, Zane. Thanks for being in here. Roland, thank y'all for keeping the chat going. Hey, if this is something that y'all want to see more of, let us know. And I'll come on here solo every once in a while, but I like having somebody to bounce my thoughts of, especially Hunt, because him and I both see from
Opposite ends
different
of the spectrum,
perspectives.
but
Yeah, so
can
we
come
get a good
together.
conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for being here. Hunt, thanks for chilling with me, man. I really dig every time you hang out with me. We haven't had a good conversation like this in a long time. You know, if you guys need to, if you all have TikTok, go check out and tap in with my homeboy King Virgo 82. All right,
Okay.
King Virgo 82. Go tap in with him on TikTok. I'll tell you this right now: it's a very pro Democrat.
Yes,
Pro.
that's a
I'm not even gonna say
pro
Democrat
Democrat.
because the Democrat Party isn't the Democrat Party. It's a
It is.
pro liberal
Yeah,
page.
it is a
A
pro
damn near
liberal
touching on
page.
socialist.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is damn near communist.
But hey, you know what? This is my brother from another mother. We served together in war. You know. Before we go, I'm gonna put a teaser out there. Before we go, you gave me this idea, Hunt, for the next on the gun line vet bro reaction. I'm gonna talk about people who say they fought for the country and people who say they're combat veterans.
Yes.
Because to me, there's a big difference between motherfuckers that say, I fought for this country. Bitch, you was S1.
That's
You
the thing
pushed
on people.
papers.
People got
All
mad at
right.
me because I said that. I'm like, bro, listen, you are a veteran in a combat environment.
Yes.
You won't take that
And
away. You
no,
qualify for VFW status. We'll never take that away. We're not in combat. I got it. You may have had to pick up a rifle, or you were dodging around, you were dodging incoming. That
if
doesn't
the
make you a
only
combat veteran.
time you fired your weapon was to verify your zero at the firing range while you were in country, you may not be a combat veteran.
That's gonna be some vet bro shit that people won't like.
Oh yeah, that's why we'll be doing that on the next Vet Bro reaction coming to y'all next week. Tomorrow sometime, and also make sure y'all watch the Word on the Streets. And I'll be doing an On the Gun Line podcast sometime tonight or tomorrow as well. Hey, thanks for tapping in here. Huh?
2:00 Sundays?
Yeah, we'll do 2:00 Sundays.
Okay.
Central Time. 2:00 Central Time here on the Gun Line podcast YouTube channel only. No Spotify's, no nothing. Just here on the channel. Let's make this shit grow. All right, hey, I appreciate you, Hunt. Thanks for chilling out with me, big dog. Hey, thank you all for being out there. It's been an hour and 30 minutes. Y'all have a great one out there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Make sure y'all drop questions too. Make sure y'all drop them questions here or on the gun line to that y'all want us to answer next week. And then
Facts.
Lopez what he'll probably do if he doesn't mind is just give everybody a shout out and a heads up of probably like what we're going to talk about. So make sure y'all do that. And then that way we can interact with y'all as well. Okay.
100%. Check it out. If you guys want to shoot me questions, on the gunline at gmail.com. On the gunline at gmail.com. That is my email. And just put in the subject line, topics for Sunday. And Hunt and I will be on here and we'll kick it. And yeah, man. I appreciate you all one more time. Y'all have a great weekend. Hey, Cruz, thanks a lot, man. Thank you for tapping in with us. Now, I'm sure I'll see you over on Dub's channel or on Gun's channel, man. Y'all have a great one. Enjoy the weekend, y'all. Deuces.
All right. Bye, everybody. Appreciate it.